With our hands in the air, we'll be high up flying. Take a breath and we can let it out. Yeah, we'll never go back down. This is you, this is me, this is what we're made of. We won't have to make it all alone. I just wanted you to know, say that you'll never let go again. And then I'll make a promise to you, my friend. I'll be there for you till the end of time, by your side. Close your eyes, settle back, I'll be there to guide you. This is all it takes for us right now. I will make it through somehow. Without you, there's no me, only half a human. You are what I need to feel complete. Yeah, you're the best part of me. Say that you'll never let go again. And then I'll make a promise to you, my friend. I'll be there for you till the end of time, by your side. By your side.
too. You're gonna get burned if you come too close, it's true. You're the one who lit me up. Can't take me much higher. Yeah, you're the one who lit me up. Help me, baby, can't you see that I'm on fire? You want me near, can't say I don't want you to. But you're gonna get burned if you come too close, it's true. When you're the one who lit me up, don't you dare saying I didn't fight for us. It's the tension between us. You want me near, can't say I don't want you to. You're gonna get burned if you come too close, it's true. You're the one who lit me up. Can't take me much higher. Yeah, you're the one who lit me up. Tell me, baby, can't you see that I'm on fire?
It's late, made my mistakes, and somehow I don't feel them, but it's bound to hit me later tonight. I wanna say you're everything I wanted for a while and for the rest of time. I don't wanna fight for you, I just wanna talk, and I don't wanna spin around. I'm scared to call you, can't calm you down. No. I tell you I don't feel it, but I've never been a liar. I'm a page that you can read. You're everything I wanted for a while and for the rest of time. I don't wanna fight for you, I just wanna talk, and I don't wanna spin around. I'm scared to call you, can't calm you down. No, be better than nobody else. It's hopeless, can fight in your love, kills me every time. Stupid, addicted to you. I just can't get enough of you, baby. Can't get enough of you. Know me better than nobody
Well, looks like we're back again with another week of LTS action. Welcome back, guys. My name is Gurf, and I'm going to be your host, analyst, caster, streamer. You know, we do it all here, but I can't do it by myself. I'm joined tonight by the lovely and wonderful color caster, Same Page. How are you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing fantastic, Gurf. Unfortunately, my other mic kind of blew out on me while I was replacing a couple computers, but I'll be running the mic on this headset one.
Well, we can still hear you, so that is very good. We need your analyst brain tonight because we have ourselves one banger of a series tonight. Another battle for first place. We saw one happen last night in the LRS Premade, but tonight it's here, LTS Premade. IQ, aka Tempo Control, taking on Akuma. My goodness, these two teams are absolutely massive. We have seen Tempo Control on stream a couple times, Akuma only once, but these are two very, very strong teams. Like I said, they're sitting at the top of the standings. However, let's talk to some of the Akuma players. They're a little worried about being on stream because last time they were handed their first loss. However, this is a much different series here tonight. Two teams are ready to go, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to bring out for us here tonight on 11.5, which is the patch that we're going to be playing on, I believe. Yes. Correct? Yes, Paige?
Yeah, we'll be commentating on 11.5 tonight, which is also very exciting. There wasn't very much to really say, unless there's anything in specific that you saw out or sought out or seeked out in the patch notes. But nevertheless, I am very excited to see these two come out. Tempo Control, we've seen them before, or at least I've seen them before, and they're absolutely saucing, especially with the big names of us out there, as well as, you know, we've been talking about the last time Tempo Control come out with the one and only Daily Peach. Now, I personally haven't seen AKM show up, but I know they are very strong. I've been looking at their match histories and seeing what they've been performing, and I'm very excited to see these two clash.
Yep, and let's not delay any longer. These teams are ready to go, so we're going to flip it on over. You can see the first lineup of tonight, and I believe this will be the lineup for the entire series. We got Cracked, Daily Peach, Babs, Wash Editor, and Ashcash over on IQ, and Revnon, Some Carry, Cutie, Bodas, and Dark Lord Matt over on Akuma. We're going to give them the ready, though, because I'm excited to see what's coming out here. And like I was saying before, Same Page, we did get to see IQ, I believe it was, yes, last week against UAEB. They were able to take them down in, it actually went to 3 games there. UAE came back in game 2, but they definitely got some strong stuff under their belt there. The Kazakhs we saw from Daily Peach, yeah, a little cracked. So definitely something that's got to be on Akuma's radar tonight. But you're going to see the Rel band out. Pretty strong pick here, I would say, and I do believe Akuma was actually running this back in week 6 when we saw them on stream.
Quite so.
So they are really good for finding those big team fight comps. However, the bans are coming out quite fast now, Paige.
Definitely, and I just want to, I do want to like iterate as Aguma is just deleting some of Daily Peach's comfort picks. I do want to say that, like you said before, Ril is a really strong pick. In my opinion, she's one of the few champions that could be unleashed as a counter pick god, where she can make or break a team comp for the enemy team. But it looks like they are doing a little bit of an even spread, getting rid of that Diana for Babs, especially that he's shown up with producing those AP mid laners and been pretty proficient on it. I'm actually really interested that Tempo Control has been focusing so much of that, or banning out some of those really hyper-aggressive champions like Rek'Sai, Darius. Did you see Akuma bring out any of these picks from last time they were streamed?
The Gragas is definitely something that IQ can play, but I haven't seen the Darius or Rek'Sai from Akuma yet. However, the Echo as the first pick for IQ, I mean, that's nice because you're not too sure where it's going to end up, if it's going to be in the hand of Babs or Daily Peach, because both of these players can execute the Echo pretty damn effective. But let's see what Akuma's going to respond with here. Oh,
it looks like it's going to be Tristan. Tristan has been on everybody's hotspot lately, especially in something like pro play. Personally, I have a little bit of trouble kind of finding my groove with Tristana, especially that a lot of the champions that I know that's been coming into the meta recently, like Sivir, has been really good against Tristana traditionally, just because that one spell shield basically eats Tristana's early game pressure out, especially if she opts into the Halo Blades. But it looks like Akuma is going to continue with that dive, a really aggressive comp with the Hecarim.
I was going to say, if you're going to pick up the Tristana, you need something to follow up behind it, because that, to me, just screams early game dominance. We are going in on these fights, and a Hecarim is a great addition to what Akuma seems to be lining up right now. But, oh me.
Looks like they're handshaking. I'm surprised.
You take some good stuff. We'll take some good stuff. Thank you very much. As Samira is now picked up there for IQ.
With the
wow, that's a good bot lane, I gotta say. A lot of all-in, a lot of damage, and a lot of, I guess you got your big tanky boy in the form of Alistar there, so that is going to be really nice comboed up together in that bot lane there for tempo control.
And especially that the changes onto Samira where she can't dash on her allies anymore was a very heavy workaround, where a lot of Samira players kind of gave up the champion, in my opinion, a little bit too early, because I think Samira is still a very good champion. You just have to play her a little bit more safe, and you can't just get the free out that you had before, where you could just dash on your allied minion or an allied ward, or even just one of your allied champions like your Alistar, for example. But nevertheless, the Sylas pickup is coming through here. In my opinion, the best ultimate right now that you can see on tempo control that Sylas can steal is the Alistar ultimate.
That's true. Getting that tank is actually so... He gets incredibly tanky when he's able to get that R off, which... Honestly, from my experience with a couple recent Alistar games, minus the one you guys might be selling in there on stream, it's you get out by, honestly, the hair of your teeth sometimes, but it's just so great for setting up these plays, you know, sending in an Echo and a Samira if they're going to be, you know, doing that main damage. And that's another great thing too. You have a Samira, one of the two champions that has a wind wall in their kit, and on top of it, it's a 360 wind wall. So
yes,
the season ban's coming out, and Diego will go. I do believe that is still disabled. I've seen that earlier this week in a couple of games, but Morg is going to be the next one banned. A strong support as well too. Giving the Black Shield to any one of the champions that Akuma has right now would be definitely some trouble there for tempo control. So they're going to make sure to take that off the map. But let's see what these teams finish off with.
I do want to clarify, as the Janna's picked up, which is a very enticing, which means that in the bot lane for Akuma, the Tristana is going to be a lot more passive than maybe she would like to be. But more than less, Tristana is already going to have a bad time, especially like you said, she has a wind wall where she can absolutely just just get rid of the bottom before it's even a problem if they go in for initiating the fight. Though Janna is a very good counterpick into the Alistar, especially that they're disengage heavy, but I just feel a little bit bad for the Tristana, especially into the early game, that her range is so short until she starts picking up those levels from her passive. I do want to see a little bit more if they're going to follow up with this Samira. They really need something to initiate with it, but it looks like the Daily Peach Kha'Zix is in the building.
It sneaks its way through. Daily Peach going to snatch that one up for himself, and rightfully so. He had a couple pretty big games that... even though it was, I didn't write down the KD of the Kha'Zix, but I put a little star next to his name because he was playing really well that game. But we do also see the Urgot picked up for Cracked, and I mean, this top laner, I remember watching them last week, and honestly, they don't take it from anybody. Top lane is theirs. They do not like to give up a single inch of room, and an Urgot, I think, is a great way to do that, which is why we see Mordekaiser's coming in, something I can maybe, you know, tank up and not have to play too dangerously into an Urgot. But we got our comps here for game number one. We're going to give these players the ready so we can see where everybody's going. But I think we have a good idea of where or what these lanes are going to be ending up like.
Now, I'm a little bit afraid for tempo control in particular if washed editor, excuse me. In the essence that Samira is going to be a little bit having a rough time actually getting in there, because she, even though she's an 80 carry at the end of the day, she always wants to be the follow-up and not the first one in. And the only person that can really initiate at least easily, is the Alistar. If they went for something like a Malphite, for example, onto instead of the Urgot, or some type of really fast get just switch on initiation, it'll help the Samira really effectively to get in there and not be the first one targeted. And if she is noticed she's getting targeted, she can always throw up her wind wall and making sure she's safe from any projectiles. Maybe even in essence from the Silas, for example. If Silas tries to grab the Samir ultimate, she can wind wall it and put Silas ulti on cooldown, which is a fun little interaction. I feel like Akuma's game plan is a little bit out there, especially that you R1, R2 the Tristana Hecarim, which usually indicates that you're going to be looking for aggressive. And once they went for the counter pickup from the Tristana with Samir Alistar, they just put themselves on the back foot and decided to go a lot more of like, I guess you would say like a stand your ground type of comp, where you want Janna ult to pop in when Alistar tries to initiate, or even the Samir initiates, and you just ult them back. I presume the Mordekaiser is going to be looking for either the Echo or the Samira into this game, unless Daily Peach is such a huge problem, where Mordekaiser can just ult Daily Peach and he'll be okay. I do expect Daily Peach to pick up a QSS in this game as well, but nevertheless, I do believe it's gonna make either the Hecarim or the Janna's time a lot harder, just because how their champions are interacting with each other.
And I do gotta point out too, you got Babs on the Echo as well too, going against Cutie. I'm looking at that matchup and I'm honestly thinking that comes down to skill, but Cutie is gonna have some options once the ults start to roll around, because there's a lot of good stuff that he can take. I don't know what it looks like exactly, what Silas that stole Samira ult quite looks like yet, but nonetheless, it's super powerful. So, I mean, not going to hurt them to have that in their back pocket. But looking at these teams, I'm going to ask you the question, Paige, before you sneak it in on me. Who do you think is going to take this one based off of the teams that we see here in the draft?
Honestly, it's a little hard to tell. Just because it's going to be the main two players I'm going to be looking for. Besides, Daily Peach, we already know he's on his coveted Kha'Zix, but and definitely I want to pick an eye on the bot lane and see how the Samira and the Alistar are going comparatively to the Tristana and the Janna. But I also want to see how useful this Hecarim is, and what kind of dive setups he can set up, especially into the laning phase, especially for something like the enemy bot lane of the Alistar or the Samira, because if you can set that Samira far behind, she's out of the game for practically the entire game, because there's a lot of she requires items to keep herself ahead of the enemy team, and being able to act like a bruiser like champion, and if she gets popped way too early in the fight, it just feels so bad when you can't hit that inferno trigger and just take down an entire enemy team in under a second. But nevertheless, I guess I'll give it to Tempo Control. How about you, boss?
Okay, well, I'm looking at this team. Akuma's got a strong team. They definitely got a strong team. I like the fact that there's a Mordekaiser there, because you gotta know that Daily Peach is gonna be looking for these flanks. So having someone around in your team that can just say, no thank you, Daily Peach, I'm taking you out of this one, is gonna be a really, really good thing for Akuma. However, it's still Daily Peach's Kha'Zix, and there's a reason why we've seen it banned against him so many times, because when it's let through, he tends to get a little bit crazy on this. And looking at Akuma, right, a lot of your damage is going to be in the form of the Silas, and especially so in this Tristana. But when I'm looking at a Tristana lane, usually we look for stuff that is kind of dive heavy. You're looking to get that level 2, you're looking to get that bomb off and just try and get that first blood. But a lot of these engages are going to be stopped by Ashkash there. The Alistar is a perfect neutralization to all this dive that Akuma's kind of putting together, with the exception of that Hecarim ult. So, looking at it, I'm going to give it to Tempo Control as well, too, for this first one. But, we got two banging teams right now. Predictions are open, so folks at home, you can let us know what you think. But we're going to find out real soon, Paige.
Most definitely, boss, and I'm really excited to see what they can do and what they can kind of accomplish, especially that, Samira's very flashy and she's always looking for that style.
Absolutely. And with that, guys, we are going to hop to a quick break. When we come back, we'll be on the rip with game number 1 of the battle for first place. This Clash of the Titans. Don't go anywhere because you're not going to want to miss this. We'll see you very soon. Make sure to keep predicting, keep getting those tokens in. We'll be on the riff soon.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like them, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me, let's be free.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Streamlabs decides what game to capture. There's really only one, but we are on the rift with game number 1 of our series between IQ and Akuma. Oh, Paige, it's going to be a spicy one here, but I am interested to see how these lanes are going to go, especially that bot one, knowing that Tristana is
Definitely.
usually the aggressor, but that Alistar just sticks out to me as saying, yeah, no thank you, Tristana, not today, but Ash gonna find Matt there, gonna take a little poke from each
I do
other.
wanna say that I'm an absolute idiot and I forgot to hit the play button. So what number are you at?
We are at 50 seconds right now, so.
Okay, 52, 53, 54.
55, there we go, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Perfect timing.
We're caught up.
Yeah, that was you were like saying, oh, a little bit of poke there. And my screen wasn't moving, and I was wondering why. I wonder. I do want to say a little bit of an interesting one, but I think it's actually the correct moves. The Silas picking up the fleet footwork here, which is a lot more sustaining into the beginning of the lane. So he's expecting a lot of poke coming from this Echo here, especially how fast he can actually clear waves with his Q, and being able to push it back and forth until he hits like level 1 or 2 where he can.
Look at this little poke coming out. As Bodas and Matt are gonna find Wash Editor out there in the try. So not exactly the greatest of starts to head to lane with about a third of your health bar missing there, but I'm sure over time it'll come back up. That Dorn's Blade is on him, but some more trading going on this mid lane. Electrocute exchange there from Babs, and Cutie gonna be missing a good chunk as well, and they're not quite done with Wash Editor yet. This is the aggression that we're talking about from this Tristana early game, and very well played so far. Not letting up Akuma coming right out of the gates. Looking very strong.
This is actually exactly what you're supposed to do against this Samiri Alistar type comp, where you want to be as aggressive as possible to them as level 1, poke them down as much as possible. Because look at what are they gonna do? They don't have any easy way to initiate onto the side of Akuma there, unless Alistar blows their flash or Janna somehow misplays and blunders and walks way too far forward for the Alistar to knock her up. But still, there isn't any real way to really get in until level 2.
No, gotta wait for that level 2 to come. Well, just as we speak of it, it's come through right now. We do have a Dragon up in 2 minutes, so we're gonna have to see where these junglers end up. But Babs and Cutie going back at it again. Here comes the Q on back, but Cutie trying to dive in. The corrupting pots are burning on both sides, but also means they're healing up. Let's see if we can get the stacks. Babs Gonna have to pull it back. The flash comes through. That last minion auto. Thankfully, the heal was there, but bot lane has rotated up here from Akuma. They're gonna look to see if they can find something. Bodas goes over the wall, and that is gonna be first blood. It's just ticking out. He tries to find Cutie, but that will be Akuma securing first blood here in this game. 3 minutes, 20 seconds, and we are off to a start here, St. Page.
What a creative gank angle coming for this side of Akuma there as Bodas had just found a really creative way, but it looks like, oh no.
This is so unfortunate to see. Gets punished for the gank. Oh, not the gank, sorry. The teleport gets punished with the gank. That's more appropriate to say, but you come back into the middle of your lane thinking you're going to be safe, but they just ganked you not too long ago, so you gotta expect there's at least one other member of Akuma lurking nearby, and there's actually two. So unfortunately, Bab is going to get picked off right away. Now no longer has the TP, and this mid lane is looking very, very good for Akuma, but Ashcash going in, going to get knocked up by that tornado, taking a lot of damage from Bodas there again. That explosive charge just really surprising how much damage it can do, but in they go. Bodas looking for another one. The Ignite's coming down to watch Editor. I'll start trying to go back in to save his team. He does get the stun off, and watch Editor is going to be able to take down that. But it's a battle of the ADCs right now. It doesn't matter. Watch Editor is just showing us the strength of the Samira. Oh my.
Very well played. Bouncing back from that absolutely horrendous trade. Letting the Alistar get the knock up onto the Tristana, where the style points would get uptick to, I think it was C at that point, where she was able to also block all the damage that was coming after the Alistar with her wind wall, and able to pick up and find both kills. Absolutely outstanding play of how comparatively of how dire the situation was.
That just shows you, with that damage from the Samira, along with the wind wall and the tankiness in the form of Alistar, I mean, that is why you can win these trades, these 2v2s so damn close, because they just out-sustain you by a little bit, and that's all they need. And especially the fact that we see Watch Editor taking that Conqueror, any extended fights at this point is going to be a little rough for the side of Akuma if they decide to stick to it. So they need to get the burst, they need to just blow him up before anything happens, but we'll see if they're able to do that, because that, again, is hard to do with an Alistar. However, he is mid at the moment.
He's trying to secure the push here, and it looks...
Oh, that is Redmon. Yeah, he's using the ult up top. Crack's taking a lot of damage right now.
Mid lane.
Oh, he's going to have to flash out to safety, but yes, another fight in mid lane. Daily Peaches there, able to take down Beauty. Some carry is going to have to back off just a little bit, because this is not a fight you want to take. IQ coming through now, taking that kill lead here at 6 minutes, but the gold is still very, very close here. Still very early to see what this game is going to end up like, but a lot of good stuff from either side so far, and we'll see, because this Infernal's up. However, look at Bodge going back in through again. That will be some carry popping. I believe the Infernal Shadows there. Onslaught of Shadows.
Honestly, I do it all the time. Don't worry about that. But if some carry just waited or extended the ultimate a little bit farther, so the fear actually went back into the tower, so she could actually EM back into the tower again, I think it would have been an absolute astonishing play, as Cutie's trying to be a little cutie and looking for a cheeky solo kill.
Oh, he's fishing for something. He's got the chrono break as well too, but not the wave to go for that dive, and with Yusuya Ashcash rotating up, so
a little fight bot.
Oh yeah, look at this. Bodas going back to well, dude, with the flash in Wash Editor. I know you said the mispronunciation washed up, but he is not. But yes, like you said, more stuff happening mid. All good. No, it's non-stop action. That's what we love to see. These two teams are not holding any punches against each other, and it's exactly what you expect from our two top-tier diamond teams. Really amazing stuff so far.
And a lot of back and forth, and the little bits counts, and this is what separates a lot of tiers. It's these little
fights, little skirmishes, like you're saying, Paige. We have another one going up top. Crack's gonna take a lot of damage. That Mordekaiser Q doing quite a bit, and it's, you know what? The AP build is coming out, and it's actually showing up quite a bit, but while that exchange is going on up top, IQ able to secure that first dragon, able to take that Infernal with an
I do want to
Ocean.
say, yeah, Ocean coming up. So what do you think it's going to be, Mountain or Cloud? Is it going to be the Clown? Is it the Clown Dragon, or is it going to be the Big Boy Mountain?
I think Infernal Ocean goes into Mountain, if I'm correct. But again, it's a 50-50 call at this point.
Yeah.
So-
We're not the geniuses behind the game here. Especially that we don't have that little
The chart.
the template. Yeah, the chart.
Yes,
Let's
no,
see if
I don't
I need
have
to
the
pick
chart
that
either.
up.
I know. I need a copy of that on me too. But I'm starting to figure it out. But Ashcash not gonna be able to find purchase with that Hex Flash there. But no, yeah. Speaking of that, if it does end up being a Cloud Drake, I mean there are some amazing ults on either side of this game. But especially the fact that Cutie gets all of them. He gets to choose from a myriad of alts here. So, I mean, either team that's able to secure that is going to be sitting pretty. But if it ends up being a Mountain Drake, who do you think that would better?
Honestly, Mountain Dragon is good for both teams, and I don't think there's really any deniability that it's better on one or another. I do think that it potentially would be better for the
Ashcash and
Where did he
Watcher
go?
are gonna walk on in. They're gonna kill Dark Lord Matt and walk on out. No punishment, no answers there. However, there actually might be an answer on the other side of the map. There's some carry coming in on the Babs. Got lots of Burgers coming down, but he will Chrono Break on back to Cutie. Not quite able to find that one. He's forced to flash out of both these mids here. Some carry and not going to be able to quite follow that. And he actually might be in trouble right now because Ashcash is here, bumps him back in. Not quite able to get into turret range there, but you do have Cracked here to clean up this kill with his Urgot. Really well played by Tempo Control.
There's some really fantastic roams here, coming even from Akuma's side onto Bodas for that mid lane kill, or the early mid lane kill, as well as the regank with the Jen or Hecarim onto the Heshinshin TP onto the Babs there into the early game. But there's been really nice cleanup kills for Daily Peach. One, for example, that got there with the Alistar roams into the mid lane to make sure that Babs has a good time and make sure he can start rolling, especially how strong Echo is into the late game. It's really important to make sure he doesn't fall too far behind from the Silas. He may be a little bit behind now, and he looks like he's building into the Proto Belt, but I do want to come back to the little point like I was saying, and like you finished for me, which I do appreciate. Is the little skirmishes and the decision making, I think, is the most important, because you can make one decision for a split second, it could be super good, and then the next split second it could be an absolute terrible play, and you deciding which, or finding that one play for that split second which would make or break the game, is all that matters in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's still too close to call, you know, when we get to that point in the late game where it's like, you know, this next fight is the decider, or like there is no decider past this point. It's still been a lot of good back and forth. We're seeing another exchange up in the top lane. Conqueror is getting proc from both ends here. But that's actually going to force Crack back under his tower there. He's going to be trading up a little bit more, but in terms of CS number, this Mord is doing extremely well up top against the Urgot as of right now, but we do have another Dragon coming up on the map, so this is really good though from both sides here that we have numbers here. More than a minute before the actual Dragon comes up, because you want to be the ones getting those wards down, getting that control of this pit before it's there, because every single one counts. The most times when we watch games, the teams that secure those early Dragons and get that soul nice and early tend to be the ones winning these games. However, this is going to be difficult knowing how much damage can come out of both sides at any moment, so both the teams have to be very careful with what kind of fights they pick, who they pick. But you see, look at this, Revenant getting jumped on by Daily Peach. Urgot also is going to go a little wide, dodge out by that flash. Don't think it matters though, because we warned you, Akuma. Let Daily Peach have the Kha'Zix. However, Cutie going to steal away that Urgot. Oh, he lands it onto Daily Peach. However, Crack trying to do his best to hold up. He's going to get really low as well too. However, Cutie going back in. Babs is going to come through with the TP. However, not able to help out. Two members dropped on the side of IQ there. However, on the other side of the map, Washed Editor cleaning up the bot lane with that Samira. Double kill for them. Holy moly. Now 6-0 on Samira at 12 minutes. That's 2 kills a minute.
I was going to reference how easily diveable the enemy bot lane is if they have the option to, just because of that the Alistar ultimate there with the Unbreakable Will, where he could just WQ onto the either onto the Janna or onto the Tristana, and being able to have an easy accessibility to just sit there for 4 or 5 seconds under the tower, just free will nonchalantly. Well, previously 4-0, the Samira is just so strong at that point. He had the Immortal Shield Bow already, comparatively to basically the same Ida Tristana that he is now. And I do want to reference, this Samira's up 40 CS, and that's a lot of gold to have, just let alone not besides the kills up onto the enemy lane opponent.
Yeah, just took a look at the gold difference, about 2,100 difference between the two ADCs, but we got a fight breaking out between these mid laners again. Bad, trying to get those stacks down. That will get stolen away by Cutie. So 2 members now with that chrono break up. I wonder who's going to use it first. Kind of cool to see the double little halos or the ghost following them around there.
It's always quite entertaining to see a Silas ultimate following back and forth, especially because it's a project. It's quite interesting, especially that he doesn't actually Silas doesn't even have a project skin to even see that cooperate. It's a little fun little accessible thing.
He's got everything. Yeah, there's some interesting visual, let's call them features in this game.
Yeah,
we can
features.
Thank Riot for those ones. But we've got a bit of a lull here. We're approaching that 15-minute mark. We don't have another dragon for a little under 4 minutes now. But this is where we're looking for these potential picks here. Is Ashcash maybe lining up for one? Not going to go for it, because this is what I'm noticing with these Diamond Leagues. If they don't have the vision, they're not going to risk it. And that, honestly, that just shows you smart playing, because even on that Dragon, it was just the Samira and the Alistar by themselves for quite a bit. Hecarim was rotating down, but no vision there. We do not enter. And I think that's rightfully so, because like we were saying earlier, both these sides have so much damage. If you step out of position, if you get caught face checking, you're going to blow up, and these Diamond players know much better than to do that. So really well played so far, even though Akuma is a little behind right now. They're still respecting the damage that's coming out of tempo.
Most definitely. It is, by the way, a Cloud Soul that has appeared onto the Rift. And I do want to say, Cloud Soul, like you said, there's some really fantastic ultimates. I would say Samira is probably one of the top ones there. Giving her the extra mobility while she ults, especially that she slowed down a lot, will give her that extra edge where she can continue following somebody up with the Infernal Trigger, or even being able to catch up to somebody using the Infernal Trigger, using it something like a Braum Shield, for example, where you get the FS.
Fight breakout in the bot lane though. Wash Editor getting jumped on right away as some carries on the backside of this. Wash Editor gets shut down by the Hecarim. And now let's see if Bodas is able to trade back up. Daily Peach has joined this as well too, but Ashcash is low. Onslaught of Shadows is going to be used, and in comes Bodas. They're looking for a third, and Daily Peach will get shut down as well. That's a lot of gold going back into the pockets of Akuma. And my goodness, you can see it right there. Akuma just sneaking ahead there in the gold lead, but no big objectives to really take right now. But we might see Bodas able to crack this tier 1 turret in the bot lane.
That was absolutely insanely good for Akuma, getting this extra extra kill onto the Tristana there. I think the Tristana actually picked up the Samira cooldown, but nevertheless, getting some extra gold onto the Hecarim is absolutely phenomenal. He probably got an extra like 800 gold from that exchange.
Oh, Cutie, wait, with the ulti back to his turret. Mid-tier 1 will be taken out. Bab still trading back. The Q's coming back. Sees carry. Not too far off in the distance, so he's going to have to back on off of that one. But that was almost really sneaky by Cutie to use the chrono break to come on right back to lane. So I'll give him props for that. That's flexing.
Honestly, there's some really creative tools that you can do, especially let's just say you get chunked down to Seiko. You can go back, heal up a little bit by an item, and then you can immediately R backwards with the incorporation of a little bit more HP, and you can go right back into a fight. And I always love those interactions of what you can do and what you can accomplish, and a great showcase there of just the knowledgeability of him playing Silas versus the Echo matchup.
You know what, now that you mentioned that, it rings a bell. This might not be in Summoner's Rift. You got to do this over in Howling Abyss because you need the snowball, but it reminds me of the Zoe alt interactions, how you can do a lot of wonky stuff with that. My favorite is landing the snowball, pressing the R, taking the snowball, and then they dump all your stuff on you, but then you appear back in your ult. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with these newer champions, like that Echo we were seeing, the Silas too, like flipping around the map in an instant without a TP. But we do got some numbers rotating around this river right now. Babs with the phase dive with the wall, almost runs face first into some carry. But Revnon is down here, and we got numbers because there is a dragon on the map. Daily Peach has showed up as well too, and is actually going to start this up. But this could be a little risky because now
the Tristana is slow.
That's so true. Yeah, we got a low Tristana, but this fight is going to get started. Bab's going to have to use Chrono Break to get back to safety. But in this pit, Samperia has gone in. Unless you actually got the dragon, we haven't got the notification yet, but the has been stolen away by Hecarim. But look at this. Crack trying to find the Tristana. Really low. We have a massive fight still breaking out. Ashcast is somehow still alive. Over the wall comes Cutie though. And back over goes Babs to sit off this Hecarim. And what a bloodbath there. This is really a lot of back and forth. But in goes Ashcast once again. That big tanky Alistar. Will he be able to get the stun? Will he be able to survive? It's a double kill there for Crack. Ashcast just barely holding on, and that's one of the best things about that tanky Alistar is that you set your team up for that, you bring the focus to you, and you allow the rest of your team to just tear through your enemies. Really well done by IQ.
I actually think the Hecarim misplayed there. Instead of going for the Soul Dragon there, especially that you don't have the backup for it, and it's not super important to get a single Cloud Dragon. If it was something like Soul versus Soul, I could understand, but I thought it was a little bit better to maybe utilize that ultimate, especially that he got a gnarly 2-man ultimate onto the Samir and onto the Kha'Zix there. It's just to blow them up. In all honesty, the Kha'Zix was focusing onto the Dragon. You can walk up and just chunk the Samir out of existence and utilize your Onslaught of Shadows to really put a damper onto those two carries. But he decided to go for the Dragon Seal, which paid off to getting the Dragon. But that extra little gold ended up being a 4-for-1 trade in favor of IQ.
You gotta ask, at what cost? At what cost do we go in for this Cloud Drake? Because, you know, when you're giving that kind of gold back on over to IQ, you got to be a little worried because you can see what both these teams can do. Having that advantage, they just need the slightest of advantage to be able to pull off some of the stuff they're able. And right now, you know, we see it back in the favor of IQ. They were Akuma did manage to pull it back over when they found that fight bottom, but yeah, unfortunately, that fight not in the favor of them. But we'll have to see as Herald is going to be taken out in the bot lane. We don't have any big objectives for another, 3 minutes. However, Baron is on the map. We might see something happen there if we end up getting an ace here, but I can't see that happening. Everyone's playing pretty respectively to each other at this point. No one's making any crazy plays unless somebody's with them.
I was gonna say, Temple Control's looking for it. Watch Editor and the bot lane there is gonna look for some cheeky stuff onto the Silas. Hecarim might be sniffing it out there. I don't even know if horses have great nostrils, but clearly he has something as they're dancing around the Baron here.
Oh yeah, and the issue is that there's not a lot of vision from really either side at this point, but in comes some carry. I believe he was spotted out by Ashcast there, but over the wall goes Babs. Not going to be able to really follow up on that too much, but we got numbers from either side up here, 4v4, while the Urgot and Mordekaiser just shifted their matchup to the bot side of the map. That's not able to really hold on to that turret. That's going to be gone, and just got to back off right now. You just got to bide your time. It's still pretty, you know, we're only in that mid-game sort of section right now. There are still some items you want to see coming out. However, this is not what you want to see, is getting caught out in the jungle warding up. That one I feel in my soul because I have been punished like that many, many times. It's just, you want to get some vision for your team, but you know you're the support. And knowing the fact that IQ is going to have these numbers roaming around, you got double assassins over here as well too. You can't go without a buddy.
Most definitely, especially that your team is not necessarily ahead. In the fact that they are quite even. It's only about a 1k gold disparagingly, maybe 1.5k gold lead on to the side of Temple Control. But nevertheless, being 0 and 5 and only on 1.25 quarter item, really, unless you count boots, which would be like 2 1/4. You're just super squishy at this point, especially playing as Jenna. Having something with there, or even being extra cautious in this scenario that you don't see the enemy team, is going to be most important.
Now we got some numbers coming around this Dragon Pit now, because we will have that objective up very, very soon. But yeah, another 30 seconds until that's on the map. Daily Peach, he's waiting. Dark Lord Matt, no, you just died. No, Dark Lord Matt will spot him out with a ward. Thankfully, he does not get too close to that bush, so he'll live for this dragon fight. We got full teams here. We got ultis ready to go from both sides, so this one is probably going to be a big fight. IQ looking for that soul point, but we do have Echo on the other side of the map. However, he would be able to join if he needs to, because he does have that TP available to him. Trying to look around on the map to see if there's any deep wards he possibly could sneak around to. But Akuma going to start this one up, and I think IQ like, you know what? Let him have it.
I'm actually surprised there, especially that the direction of the last fight was gone. Maybe they just feel like they just outscale and it's completely okay. But I do worry for them, as in my opinion they're gonna have a harder time going down, especially that the Kha'Zix will stop going for those heavy one-shots unless he continually gets more items. But it looks like there's gonna be initiation.
Almost there. They were definitely taking a bite of it, but not too sure if they want to reel that one in. It's still a little risky to fight in those very tight corridors, especially knowing that the Onslaught of Shadows is available for the Hecarim. At this point, you haven't seen it in a while. You got to assume those ults are ready to go. So
especially against the dragon.
Yeah, probably not the place to fight. You don't have all your team right there as well, too. So they make the smart play. They back on up, but this is giving Akuma a little bit of wiggle room that they might not have wanted to do. So they gotta sort this out fast and continue putting on that pressure, because Akuma, it seems, is starting to get a little bit of footing back into this game here.
Most definitely, and I'm really confused why they gave up that dragon, in essence that they didn't even get anything out of it. They had 3 in the mid lane sharing the XP and sharing the gold, and most of the CS gone to the Samir anyways, and then there was only one person in the top lane, and neither of them was able to either collect an objective like in a tower, for example, or if all 3 laners were soaking XP and the jungle was farming their camps, then I could understand a little bit more. But nevertheless, I do respect that they were not, if they were giving up the dragon, they weren't just watching them do it.
Had Ashcash the flash, the combo, and the follow-up from Watch Editor. That is what they've been looking for quite some time now. Beautiful pick on the someone so important too. And maybe Bab's looking to at least push the Sylas off, but that's going to be the call
for Baron.
Absolutely.
Oh. Even though it's only the 80 carry, the 80 carry has been still producing a lot of damage. Tristana does a lot of damage, especially with that Kraken Slayer and being able to hit from afar, because she is getting to those levels where she starts getting that Caitlyn ranges. Really nice ulti from Jenna, but she just died.
Out, and that goes some carry over the wall, but were they able to secure it? Yes, it was stolen away. Oh my god. What an incredible steal, but Babs now on the chase. Cutie trying to take him down. Is he going to be able to find it right now? Babs is quite low. It's the turnaround here. Cutie is doing quite a bit of damage, but Bodas comes over the wall. Nice shield there from the tail, looking for to stay alive for now. Watch Editor bunched on out with that Tristana ultimate, but going to be shielded to at least stay alive from that. Has the Immortal Shield Bow, so definitely doing wonders to help, but we just gotta talk about some carry for a sec. Oh my god, yeah. He has stolen the dragon from IQ earlier, and now he's stolen the Baron. So that is just massive denial off the map here for IQ. They're not going to be able to really push with anything now if they don't have the Baron buff.
Carry has been absolutely carrying these smite battles, as getting those 50-50s off. He's like, it's not even a 50-50 if I win every time. Absolutely stellar play, especially that they're on the back foot this game. Really will propel his team back into the forward here, or maybe even make the gold trade even. It has reached to a 2k point, as Daily Peach is still looking for those extra kills, but nevertheless it is a 2k deficit still. But this is something to look forward to, especially that you do have Baron wearing a little bit of purple on some of the on somebody like the Sylas.
And I don't know if you ever get that feeling when casting a game, when looking at it and you're like, okay, this is gonna be a banger of a game, because you know, we're getting closer to that late game stage here, and there's only, like you said, it's not even a 2k gold difference at this point, so this is extremely close. We got 2 dragons apiece. Yes, the kills are definitely up in IQ's favor, but the CS numbers definitely, oh wait, looking at them, actually, no, that's a lie, but this is still very, very close for these sides, but we got to see where the actual gold is, where the actual items are in terms of the players. And looking at a Samir with 3 full items and her boots, that does scream run away to me, or at least throw all your damage onto Watch Editor. So I think that's kind of the goal of both these teams, is take out the enemy ADC, because both of them are just so damn strong at this point with the items they have in their belt.
Most definitely, and I do want to reference back to a point where I said I wanted to watch these bot lanes go at it, and I obviously want to do, but I do want to say, if Akuma's able to pick up some of these shutdowns, the 150 golds or even the 350 onto the Urgot, especially that he's going to be split pushing, it's going to be huge for Akuma, and maybe even to a game-ending fight, but it looks like it's going to be fight.
Yeah, TP came through from Akuma as well too, but that's going to be Ashcash going over the wall. This Dragon's low. It will be secured by some carry, but this fight is breaking out once again. Ashcash in that pit, keeping the Hecarim out of this one, but it's just a lot of back and forth so far. Revnon gonna have to flash on out of that one, but ooh, Ashcash with the massive CC onto so many members of Akuma. Is it gonna be enough? That will be Babs coming back with the chrono break, able to take down another one, but Bodas is doing so much work for his team. Daily Peach is still alive as well too. It ends up being a 3-for-3 for both these teams. However, some carry able to secure another Cloud Drake for his team, putting Akuma at still point. So really well played to do that. And honestly, you go even in trades, that's not bad for Akuma.
I do want to say, I think Tempo Control is just losing the game at this point. They're taking way too long for a look to look for initiation. It was a good play to wait for the Silas Alistar ulti to go away. But I do want to say there were some really key points in that last fight. Dark Lord Matt was able to cancel the Alistar reinitiation after the Silas got a Silas Alistar ulti went away, or a Silas's Unbreakable Will went away. And it was a great cancel into to a point where it baited the Samir to go back in, to a point where she flash ultied back into 3 people, but it just didn't do enough damage to the point where it scared off Akuma, and it went to the point where Bodas was able to hop up with the Hecarim, get a really sexy blaster shot. Sexy buster shot, being able to instantly pop the Samira, and being able to hand a nice chunk of gold back into his hands. And as you can see, he already has a 200 gold shutdown onto the case, and he's now even with items onto the Samira.
Yeah, and I do want to point out too that Watch Editor has picked up an Executioners, because I do, in that last fight, oh, might have to hold on, there's something that actually happened up the top lane. Bye, cutie! Goodbye, you get caught out. That's what's going to happen. Same thing, but for the other side, so these teams to trade 1-1. Top laner gone for IQ, mid laner gone for Akuma. But yeah, I was going to say, that last fight, Ashcash was getting some great CC off. They just couldn't seem to shred down Akuma in these long extended fights, but that execution is definitely going to help. However, oh my god, Daily Peach! Daily Peach has no mercy whatsoever. He finds Dark Lord Matt, just explodes the poor Janna. Goodbye. And this is what it's getting to. We're just seeing, honestly, one-shot burst kind of fights coming out right now. Bab's going to be forced to
so much damage.
Too, and this is really scary. He's still able to get that inhibitor topside tower. However, look at this. Some carry gets jumped on. Watch Editor able to take him down. That is going to be a huge loss here for Akuma. Some carry as was putting in some hella work here for Akuma, and now that Baron is up in 3 seconds. This is definitely going to be where IQ want to put their attention, but will Akuma let them? Revnon and Bodas on their heels right now. Let's see if they're able to put a stop to this without the jungler.
I do want to say what a huge blunder coming up for some carry. He's been putting a lot of work, but he decided to use his movement speed into his dash. I actually quite forget what it is at the moment.
Let's see. Crack is on the backside. Morris in the middle of this. He gets blown up. I watched Editor. Crack will flash back into the safety of his team. However, the other Peach still taking a lot of damage from this Baron. Keep going on in, but Ashcash is there to tank it on up. Is he going to be able to manage? Dark Lord Matt actually popping the ult behind the pit, but Babs, ooh, is going to get shut down here. Cutie going golden right now. Can't survive for any longer. No, he gets tossed around. Daily Peach there to clean him up.
He did wait for the Heckram. Heckram's coming back over, though.
Oh, he is alive, and this Baron is back up in his health, but getting shredded back down again. Watch Editor doing a lot. Is he going to be able to make it? In comes some carry. This Baron is low. He goes in with the onslaught of Shouter's foot. Gets knocked up. Daily Peach is able to take down this Baron for himself. Now IQ have found it. They find the fight. They find the numbers, and send Tristana and Janna packing back to their base. This is going to be extremely good for Tempo. They might be able to look to end here.
Most definitely. I think they're going to be pushing it and at least pick up a double inhibitor. But I do want to go back to the very beginning, before this entire Baron situation happened. Heckram went into the Samira 1v3, seeing all three people, and still went up to the Samira, realizing he had no outs and got absolutely comboed right under his turret. Setting this entire scenario up where he would have to he was forcing himself to look for the steal, but it looks like Daily Peach is going to be looking.
Daily Peach is always looking. He was just been ducking in back right now, but he is going to get potentially spotted out here. Ooh, yeah, that's maybe a little overgreed, and just what we were saying about the Heckram not too long ago, saying about Daily Peach. However, you got all of Tempo Control waiting for the members of Akuma to come down and say, you know, we can take this Dragon. There's no Daily Peach. Yeah, well, you still got 4 members of Tempo Control. They find you out, and now you don't have the numbers. The death timers are in the 40s at this point. This could be the game right here, unless Revnon and Carry are able to put on the defense of their lives. This is going to be rough. Super Minions in. Baron buff is on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see. That's going to be some carry. Just absolutely shredded. Revnon is going to be next to go. The Inferno Trigger used by Wash Editor there to finish this one off. And IQ find the first win of the night. GG, Paige. Holy moly.
What a blast for the first game going on there. A little bit off. Oh, what a killer off into the beginning, able to pick off Babs twice in a row. It was looking really grim until the Samir was able to find a beautiful 2v2 setup against the Janna Tristana there. I do want to say that I believe this game would have went a completely different way if this bot lane went completely even, in my opinion.
This was honestly a battle of back and forths. But in the end, it was Tempo Control that got it. Honestly, it should have been Tempo Control mostly in the driver's seat, but I have to give massive props to some Carry for, bringing this tempo back into the. This is not meant to be a pun on the tempo, but actually bringing that tempo back into control of Akuma, because those steals were so detrimental. Not having that Baron at the 26-minute mark when IQ was first looking to go on it. Definitely put them behind. They would have been able to close this game out much, much sooner. And this became a much closer game than IQ probably anticipated from that point on, because people were just getting blown up across the map for both teams. But in the end, it's that safety that, okay, Daily Peach is gone. Akuma walks on in, but you've got everybody waiting in the river for you. So again, the importance of vision. It came down, this entire game comes down to the importance of vision. And for that reason, that's why IQ was able to claim this one up here, but it was close the entire way through. Loved watching that one.
Gurf, you must have an 80% CDR buff because you're putting the Earth in Gurf right now. Absolutely spectacular. I do want to say, and I agree with you. There was a lot of control of the IQ, and there was some really heavy blunders in the beginning where Kuma was getting a little lazy. I think because they saw the Echo being 0-2 in the beginning of the time, they thought they had a lot more breathing room than they actually did, and Tempo Control was able to find and grasp that tempo and being able to control it. I'm trying to do my best here. I'm trying to live up
I know
to
it's hard.
standards.
It's hard not to slip a pun here, and it's like, okay, I guess I did.
But I do want to say, beautiful game 1, and I'm super excited for game 2.
Yeah, looking to see if Akuma can bring it back. Make sure to vote on your player of the game. That poll is up and live right now, but we will be announcing our player of the game when we come back from our break, and when we do, then we'll be getting into game 2 to see whether or not we are head into that game 3. But this is going to be a big match for Akuma. Need to find a win here, but we'll have to find out when we come back, everybody. See you soon.
Do you mind if I quickly take out my dog, or should I wait until the break?
Alrighty, welcome back everyone. We got our first player of the game. That's going to be Wash Editor from Temple Control going 12-3-10 on that Samir. Pretty impressive stuff, but we got a game number 2 coming up right now, and Akuma looking to claw their way back here and take us to a game 3, but IQ looking strong in that game, but really, Paige, we could say both teams were looking strong tonight.
Oh, most definitely. There was a lot of fun back and forth moments, like you said, and there was some high-paced action where they were able to coordinate a top. I apologize. They were able to coordinate a top dive or a top battle of 3 people and coordinating it to their bot side, so they were actually diving the Tristana and the Janna. It was quite an amusing game.
Absolutely, but we've got more. At least one more in the tank here, as we are ready to get into game number 2. We do have a side switch, so Akuma gets the side selection. They have opted for the blue side, so we're going to see these teams switch things around, and let's see how that impacts this game. But we won't let them, or won't make them wait anymore. We'll give them the ready, and let's get this one going.
For sure, and in all honesty, I'm looking to see what kind of bands they're going to be mixing up here. And normally I would ask you, but I'm going to start it off today just because put a little bit less pressure overall. In generosity, I think they're going to be looking to either ban out the Daily Peach Kha'Zix.
That's gonna go. Samir is gonna go, and I believe you're right. Yeah, Kha'Zix is probably next to go. It's like we're psychic or something, saying Paige.
Yeah. It was a really hard read. Honestly, you really had to dive deep into the solo queue into the op.gds to really find that one out.
Honestly, though, it's smart. You realize Wash Editor what they can do with that Samira when they're enabled. And the fact that it's Daily Peach's Kha'Zix, you can't let them have it. So Akuma learned their lesson after game 1 and will not let this through. However, you got to be aware that Daily Peach might look towards this Vi, but again, there are some options in what you can do with that in order to disengage from all the engage that Vi does bring to a table. But Greg is in round next to go. However, Akuma going to return back to that Tristana.
I was really interested why they're going for it again. Maybe they just feel like it's a really powerful pick right now. I'm not convinced necessarily, just from solo queue pleasures, as well as something like traditionally like Senna MF that is very strong, but maybe it's a comfort pick. But like you said, the Diana's being hovered right now, or even basically locked in at this point. No, go back. I like the Diana pick. Go back.
I like it too, but they might go back with the Echo. I mean, Babs played really good on it. It's safer. It would be the safer pick there, but you do have the option to get in and out and do a little crazy stuff. But Diana's pretty strong, and yeah, you're right too. Picking Diana up this early would be probably a lot more option for Akuma to counter. But if I'm IQ here, I'd probably just say, why don't I just play Alistar again? Ash Clash played really good on them last time. I think they're just waiting until the support comes out from Akuma just to see what they want to pair up with the Kaisa, but that's a strong pick as well too. Definitely still at the top of that ADC list in 11.5, so she is not to be taken lightly, and if she's able to get those stacks up on you, oh my god, her Q. I don't want it. It brings me nightmare. It's horrible. I hate it.
The isolated Q with the upgrade is just a terror if she's able to fit. Especially if it goes into, in my opinion, I think the PD build is better. If you go Kraken Slayer into PD, and you can get both your E evolve and your Q evolve by level 10, which is absolutely astronomical. Just in essence, but nevertheless, I do want to go back here as they're going back into another more of a comfort pick outside of IQ, but they seem like they really liked the pick as they second B2'd the Urgot and they B3 Nocturne.
Okay.
That is aggressive, my friend.
I like it, and I would like it even more if it's in the hands of some carry, because they were able to pull off those dives, those steals on Dragons and Barretts that past game. So, you know what, on someone aggressive like that who's willing to make those balls to the walls kind of plays, absolutely let him have it. Could potentially go mid, so could to Tristana. We're not too sure yet. There is that potential to flex it, but that Urgot getting taken away from Crack this game, I mean, if he knows how to play the champ, there's a good chance he knows what is good against it as well too. So, okay, he goes with Sion, which 2 could also be played support, but I'm thinking that might end up in the top lane, if any.
Honestly, if you were looking into maybe like a couple weeks ago, that was somewhat popularized by a Yasuo video or even like a highlight channel from some sorts. If you actually decided to pick up Senna, you could have went Senna Sion bot lane and being able to get. Yeah, I don't know if you saw something like that or remember that, but it's quite entertaining to see a minion fly by with a with an AOE route locking up 2 or 3 people almost instantaneously. But I do want to say, nevertheless, Sion is a very aggressive type of tank. He's a lot more fun on the other side, and especially if you go in the mecha, you can be a little choo-choo train. But cosmetics aside, I do want to say it does fit the theme of what IQ is kind of looking for, which switching that Echo into a much more aggressive style, looking for those heavy dives to the backline and being able to Sion ultimate back straight down the middle and being able to give those plasma stacks for free onto the Kai'Sa is going to be absolutely huge.
We'll see the Vi ban away from Daily Peach. Diana, which was being covered earlier, also going to be taken off this map. But looking for Akuma, honestly, I wouldn't think it'd be bad to put like a tankier hook champion with that Tristana. You know, Nautilus, Thresh, Blitzcrank, any one of the 3. We've seen Dark Lord Mad play the Thresh before, and he can make some damn good hooks, I gotta say. So,
definitely.
Pairing that up with Tristana, you know what? That can enable that level 2 all in if they so choose to go for it. But it's gonna be really tough if it ends up being a Sion support for Ashcash. Not too sure what that's ending up as yet, but the Alistar. Now we know what Ashcash is going back on. Definitely a safe pick. It's just it disengages anything that Akuma is really looking for, and that's exactly what they did last game with the Tristana. Still able to hurt. Don't get me wrong. Very, very strong there. And maybe Matt's listening to me right now because the Thresh is being hovered right now. But again, that Flay, that's another option too. You've got 2 supports getting lined up now that have the option to start picks to find members of the enemy team out, but also the disengage. The box, the Flay, the Lantern are all extremely great tools that they have, especially on top of the fact that you have a Nocturne who's going to be flying into these team fights. So just toss a Lantern down and say, hey buddy, we got you, get on out to safety. You're going to be sweet. That is going to be a sweet thing to have in the kit of Akuma right now. But last pick coming through, not too sure what it's going to be, but it'll definitely show what this comp from Akuma is looking like, as the Vel'Koz lined up here for Cutie. Let's see what it's. Yep, it will be that Vel'Koz locked up here. Strong pick, of course, too. I mean, again, the stacks, the true damage. You can't muck with people with champions that have true damage on them. You really got to respect that coming through, because they don't care about your resistances, not one bit. I don't think so.
I do want to put emphasis that this Akuma would have an amazing draft, just based off of going for maybe a poke and protect style comp, where they utilize something like the Vel'Koz poke, or with the Tristana autos, especially into later onto the game, to poke at the bear, basically of IQ, and try to make them look for an engage, but they lock in the Senna.
Okay.
I mean,
wait. Is that no?
I mean, they didn't type in chat or anything. Maybe that's an actual true Senna mid top, maybe mid, maybe top.
We're gonna get to see real soon.
It could be a Kai'Sa mid as well, or it could even be a Kai'Sa. It could be a Kai'Sa mid with the Senna Sion combo into the bot lane, and just put Alistar to the top lane. Might as well, right?
That's true.
Because
this draft, mention Senna Sion. You totally mentioned it too. They could potentially look to go for it, possibly.
But I mean, it's a little. I mean, I'm very interested where they actually put the Senna. What do you think? Where do you think the Senna's going?
I honestly, I don't see her going mid by herself. Yeah, she does. You know what? It's tough. It's tough. You put me on the spot here, Paige. I don't know what to say.
I do want to say, because I've seen it before, and we've actually in the Wolf Squad, if you did look at some of her games, we did put Senna into the mid lane. She is good in certain circumstances where she's viable into the mid lane. but really has to be in good hands. And I do think this is an okay spot for Senna necessarily, but it's very scary. Once it hits the level 6 mark, she has to really pay attention to utilize her E properly, so she isn't instantly Nocturnal. But I do want to clarify that Senna mid is viable, and if it is going to the mid lane, I'm very excited to see. And it looks like it is.
Okay, there we go. Santa locked in there for Bobs, so that is definitely going to be different than what we're used to. I mean, the Echo coming through as well too. That will be on Daily Peach's game. So, handing the torch on over to the jungler. IQ is gonna let Daily Peach run with that one, but he is. I mean, we saw it with the Kazakhs. He's good with these assassin type champions, so definitely not a bad pick in his pocket there.
Definitely, and I do, man, I'm just a little bit, like, dumbfounded and trying to, like, give a conceptualization of what Tempo Control's kind of looking for, especially how aggressive they're going to be looking for, especially with the Kai'Sa, Alistar, Echo Sion, where they can really put the pressure and put in. Maybe they are looking for the Senna to kind of act like an artillery unit, or like a piece of poke that they can utilize, especially with the ultimate coming across the screen, giving everybody a little bit of shields. Senna, if they really wanted to, I don't know if they're going to be looking for it, but Senna can go for the Moonstone build because of how much healing and shielding. She has a massive AoE shield and has a straight line AoE heal that can hit multiple people. She can utilize Moonstone very well if they're going to be looking for much more of a supportive setup, but I presume Babs is going to be looking for that Kraken Slayer Gwynsu's type of setup that a lot of Sennas, including myself, the Senna player, enjoys. I'm quite fascinated to see how they're going to utilize the Senna pick, especially that I believe Vel'Koz is going to have control from the beginning of it. Can you hear me?
I have a good idea, because we actually got Babs there in the chat. What's up, Babs? Fasting Cinnamid incoming.
It's fasting Senna.
Fasting Cinnamid incoming.
Is it? Okay.
I'm down. You know what? I'm down for it, because you know what? Either way.
Are you fasting? Are you going?
We'll see. I think you might be right.
Setup where you follow the Echo around instead of it's the Echo's gonna be farming and the Senna's just walk around with his souls. It's like it's kind of like the Karaki setup, but I can see it if you're saying it is going to be like a fasting style. But I do want to specify that this Nocturne's going to have a very hard time for Akuma. In all honesty, and I don't know what your opinion about this is, but I believe the Nocturne's going to have a hard time. Because once he's in, and Vel'Koz doesn't, unless he's positioned correctly, he doesn't want to be the person to walk up. While Tristan is fine with it, and you know Thresh is fine with it, Urgot likes to go in, especially if he's able to get the Fear Beyond Death off and being able to mass fear everybody. Great duo, double fear with Nocturne and Urgot into the top lane there. But I do want to specify it's going to be hard for the Vel'Koz to go in, or hard for the Nocturne to be allowed to go in without being absolutely blown up, unless he goes something like a Zanya's or a Stopwatch or something like that. But what is your opinion? What is your opinion about the drops?
I'm looking at both these teams here, and both have really good. Like looking at Akuma, you can see right off the bat, your first initial inclination would be, okay, this is a dive, we find picks and that. But then you see stuff like, you know, the Vel'Koz as well too, which is more of, that's not a dive champion, that's more of a peel back, which they do have the ability to peel back some of these fights if they, and we don't often see it, that Nocturne ults get used defensively, but if he just wants to pop the darkness there and have everybody run away, that is totally something that is an option, but I can't see them backing out to that. However, any of the engages that Akuma is going to be looking to made is going to get answered with Ashkash again. But this time you have a Sion in the top lane as well too, who, if you're deciding to chase down these members of Temple Control, you're going to have to deal with the Alistar Sion kiting everybody back the entire way. And we know Senna is extremely hard to catch, especially if we see her running the Glacial Augment as well too. And that Kai'Sa also with her E, especially once it gets empowered, great kite potential as well too. So this is going to be, honestly, kind of what we saw first game, where it's a lot of back and forth, a lot of little skirmishes here, and then it's, oh, it's going this way. Oh, it's for Akuma. Oh, no, it's for Tempo, and back and forth and back and forth. But really it comes down to who's really pulling that trigger first and what kind of responses does the other team have, because looking at this, I would give my edge to IQ once more, just because they have those answers to those dive potentials, versus Akuma. If they get jumped on, yes, you have the flay, yes, you have the knockup from Valkaz, but that's kind of it. Unless someone gets real close to you with those spheres, like you said, are a good option, but we'll have to see. I could talk about this so much more, but we got the first couple minutes of the game. We'll hypothesize more than Paige, but we'll be back on the Rift. Make sure to keep those predictions coming, guys, and we will see you soon.
Definitely.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free. The night is young and I think this could go far. The sky is dark but you're my shooting star. Could see your face reflect upon the moon. It was a pretty summer night.
Hello and welcome back to game number 2 of the LTS Week 8. Akuma on the blue side this game, IQ on the red, and we've been hypothesizing, Paige, but yeah, dives and answers to those dives is what this game is going to be about, and I'm just a little worried because there's not a lot of answers on the side of Akuma if IQ decide to pull that trigger first.
It's definitely a harder draft to pull out for Akuma-san. It doesn't mean they're absolutely out of the game, especially if the Nocturne gets turbo fed. If you ever had a fed Nocturne in the game, you know how that game usually goes, which is a W in the pocket. Yeah, W in the pocket of the Nocturne. But I'm very excited to see what they're going to be utilizing the Senna, especially that we got hints into the chat that it was a fasting type of Senna, which, in all honesty, I don't know what that means, especially inside of the mid lane. I think he was kind of joking. I presume it was, he was saying that in a joking manner, especially that you can fast Senna in the bot lane, and that's typically the type of Senna I like to play. But nevertheless, I'm very interested to see what he's going to be utilizing the Senna pick for. I do not see any interesting runes. Everything's pretty standard. It looks like Urgot is going for the PTA, so it's going to be a lot more of a lane-focused Urgot, especially at level 6. But Cyan's going to have a little bit of a rough time into that matchup, especially that you can see this Urgot's looking for the cheese onto the Cyan. I'm very interested in how this is going to go.
Although, let's watch. The ward comes down, so Cracked is going to spot him in this bush, but yeah, like you said, interesting to see the Prusy attack. We did see Cracked opt for the Conqueror last game, but in he goes, doing some decent damage already. He actually starts there with the flip on over, and that's a decent amount of damage already down on the Cracked. However, can't forget about Zombie Scion, because he could just come back and get the trade, so you can't get too low in these exchanges, and Revnon definitely has that in the back of his mind. But let's see what's going to happen down here in this bot lane. It's always a battle for level 2, because A lot of stuff can happen here with the Tristana. However, it will be IQ that hit that level 2 mark.
Oh,
first.
he missed it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at to the top lane there, and if Revnon was able to land his E there, would have been a first blood onto the side of the Urgot favored, or onto the side of the Urgot, but necessarily, I do apologize for that little sped out. It was just very close.
All good. No, any moment something could happen with these teams, especially when the alts start to roll around here. We want to point out, Cutie got a nice deep ward on the side of IQ jungle there, but I believe he's just going to catch the tail end of that Echo leaving from that red buff. So we got to know he should be roughly around that blue side, but a nice hook coming down from Matt. See? Called it there in chat. He's got some nice hooks. He's able to pull off the first one. So 100% hooks so far. And now we just can't watch the bot lane, or else that 100% might not say the same.
Yeah,
Maybe it's for me.
Yeah, we'll ignore the bad hooks. Look at the good hooks. That's how stats work, right?
Exactly. We're here to highlight our players here at Mega.
Exactly.
Make everybody look good best we can, but we can't. Well, technically we can control direct to camera, but sometimes I just let it do its thing.
Yeah, most definitely. For some reason, directed camera most of the time actually doesn't like you as much as I do. It likes me. Usually it flips back and forth between the action pretty well. Maybe the AI sentience senses weakness. Maybe he's a Scion man. But Nocturne.
Oh, he's just making a little pass by there at the top lane. Not too much to be found, but thankfully Cracked is not pushed out too far because he's not got a lot of mana in the pool right now, and you see even lower at this point as Daily Peach making a little visit to the mid lane as well, but nothing found around the map. We had first blood at this point, I believe, last game, so a little quieter in terms of what we're seeing now. However, there's Dark Blade Matt.
Still 100%.
In go Ash Cash. The bomb is getting leveled up there, and Ash is going to take a lot of damage from Bodast.
Nice.
Just flipped up
Sorry,
there in time. No, we got there just at the end there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did call that out, but
he just makes the little drive-by again, and this time able to find that Scion. I mean, Cracked was sitting around for quite some time. He was pretty low, so definitely good of some carry to stop by again. But we'll see some more trading coming through bot laners. As there is a dragon on this map in 1 second. Will be that Inferno to start things off. Let's see who's going to be starting off these Drags this game.
I do want to say, and I didn't realize it until like halfway through the game, is that Scion started D-Ring, which I'm very interested to see, especially into something like an Urgot who has an easy or an accessible way to kind of stop spells from casting from the Scion angle. But nevertheless, I'm presuming he's going to be spamming out a lot more E's than Q's and looking for some pokes, coming with that like WE trade that you get from the AP scaling.
What's happening here in the mid lane as David Peach again making their way into the proximity of shooting there, but ooh, nice little knock up there from the Valkaz to see how much damage comes out when you're able to get the true damage through. But Babs, the only focus right now I think for them is stack, as they are at just hitting.
Ooh, nice ultimate top.
Ooh, let's see it right now. We're up in the top lane as Crack is up down again, but Revnon here. Ooh, those are the ones that keep you up at night, just escaping with a sliver of health. Cracked is able to make it out that time. But, I mean, if that Nocturne was up there again, that could have been a kill. And, ooh, this exchange mid might have been a kill again. Cutie looking to trade in, but so is Babs. A lot of damage coming out of both. Cutie a little low in the mana department there.
I'm surprised that he actually walked back with the set and walked away there, especially that he was above 50% HP, and Vel'Koz threw all his spells out with 0 mana afterwards. He could have definitely looked for a solo kill, especially with the availability, but it looks like...
yeah, Cutie is backing on out of there. Pelor convergence coming down, and not going to quite hit his mark, but it's enough to force him back from that dragon. But we are going to see bots coming, backs coming out of the bot side. There we go, that's a lot of bees, but this might give up a little pressure. However, Nocturne on the other side of the map right now. No dragon on the map or in the minds of these teams quite yet. But honestly, I've seen so many times. I mean, just then, that Scion escaping with a sliver of health, that can be sometimes the difference of picking up that early Infernal Dragon. But, ooh, Disintegration Ray coming down onto Babs. Oh, okay.
Whoa,
Take it
jeez.
easy, cutie. They have a family. My God, yeah, true damage. Don't mess with it. We did mention it there in draft. Fresh trying to get the Lantern Express there, but Carrie's just gonna walk away.
I know Senna's on the true damage roster, but geez, who's spitting really? Jesus. But lore side of wise, Tristan looking for something, but lore wise. Anyway, I do want to say that the spellcast has been doing absolutely amazing. Cutie has been really popping off, and I did want to add a little bit more of a little bit of a thing. It's kind of like Seraphine, where if you kind of look at her lore, it's even though she looks like a cutie, she's actually just a war criminal in disguise. But
as if like everybody in League of Legends isn't.
True.
Technically.
Have you seen the silver players in this game? Okay.
Oh, I was talking lore wise, but yeah, sure, that too.
Same thing.
I play with the silver players in solo queue, and it is not a pretty place. I gotta say,
a lot of war crimes. Looks like bot.
Ooh. Oh, let's see it. The play's out right now, so Ashkash could look to go in, and he's actually gonna be a little bit late on that timing. But in comes some carry with the Nocturne ult. Ashkash gonna have to flash on out, but locked on down. Little CC back plays there, and there's Bodas with the final bit of damage there. The Sen ult coming out is not gonna be enough, but Daily Peach is in, and Watch Editor again up to no good, able to trade back that kill, and it's a 1-for-1 in this bot side. So nice response there, but still, this is scary when that Nocturne gets rolling.
I do want to say, just looking at the CS difference is absolutely cool.
Oh, washed? He's not done yet! Bodas, are you correct? Nope.
Okay,
that is insane.
kill
Cutie's able to find another one too. This is looking good for Akuma. We can't even take our eyes off the map. What did I say? Direct to cam. Come on, stick up with me.
Wait, my directed camera saw that. I thought the directed camera actually looked at it for you because nothing else is happening in the map. It really does not like you, does it?
No, totally hates me. Daily Peach is able to find that kill on Tristana. Cutie's able to find one on Senna, and yeah, it's an absolute bloodbath here. But Akuma here up 5-2. They're sitting up with about 2.2 gold lead at 10 minutes here, and maybe some vision being put around this dragon as we're going to start to see these dragons picked up in this game. But Akuma's playing really aggressive, but it's paying off so much for them.
I do want to say, look at how the CS difference in the mid lane and the top lane right now. It's absolutely outstanding, quite astronomical in my opinion, where it's allowing Akuma to have free reign into the side of the mid lane and the top lane here, especially that there's going to be some amazing solo kills happening on the side of Cutie, and in a really good play into the bot lane here.
Oh, Bodas is not holding that, goes right on over the wall to drop some damage down on the Watch Editor, and yeah, I think Watch definitely playing a little safer. Beautiful hook out of Dark Lord Matt, but a little too far under that tower.
He's still 100% hook rate, by the way. I've been paying attention. And,
actually, even off cam too, because you can't always trust me with this camera apparently. But no, Dark Lord Matt, he's playing really good so far on this Thresh, but not a lot happening in terms of the supports this game. They're more there just to be the meat shields that their ADCs need, and I think Dark Lord Matt looking to maybe bait something out here because Nocturne is back on the side of the map again with his ultimate.
Nocturne ultimate being able to set up is going to be quite well. I think they're going to be looking for a play bot lane, especially that Nocturne doesn't have anywhere else to be in the map, picking up the Krugs and maybe rotating back and maybe into a lane gank, not even utilizing the ultimate might be the play here. But it's really all on to Matt here to look for a really nice hook onto most likely the Kaisa here. He does look like he's looking for it.
Let's see. As Vel'Koz is around on the side as well too. Cutie is here, gets bunched on out, but Daily Peach is actually coming over as well too. Darkness is going to be popped. Paranoia, is going to be popped. And Akuma goes on in. Ashkash is going to get taken out. Bodas trying to find Watch Editor as well too, but he's taking quite a bit of damage for himself as has to go back over to the wall. Daily Peach is now in the face of some carry. Gets knocked up by the Vel'Koz. That's a lot of true damage, but the Chrono breaks on out flash from Subcarry to chase him on down. Are they going to be able to do it? A Wash Editor sitting along the side, poking out these members of Akuma. And the Lantern Express will take the spell cause back, but now Akuma could be in a little bit of trouble. Void Seeker will find Modas. Wash Editor just has to press hard to go back into this one. Chrono Break coming through, big play in a box, but Akuma overstays their welcome. They get taken out here. Oh, that's unfortunate to see.
Bit of an overextension there, as you can see. I thought the Senna was in a bad spot, but it was really well played, where she was in just far enough, or she wasn't in reach of the Alistar, just enough time for this Echo to really set up for himself, for Daily Peach at least, to be able to get in. But okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Almost. But a mid lane play.
Let's see what's happening right here. Cutie gets picked right off. And that's Ashcash again. That Alistar from game 1 that we saw. It's so huge for setting up his team. And you pair that with the Senna with Glacial Augment. Yeah, good luck getting out of that one. But so far, 34 stacks on Babs' Senna at this point. We saw up top Revnon trying to make a play with that Herald, but not quite able to take out that tier 2 tower. And there we get the announcement as the plating's going to be going down in a few short moments. But these two teams consistently looking to pick each other off, especially these two ADCs are incredibly fun to watch because they do not hold back against each other, willing to really take it to the most extreme as both of them just limped away from that fight. But we'll have to see what happens because when they get paired up with their teams, I mean, this is where we saw IQ kind of take that little bit of momentum as it's just the rotations. When you're with your team, when you're making those plays and you're able to really do something with it afterwards, like taking some turret plates or at least taking a plate or getting some vision up, that's where we really start to see the momentum shift. But this is a tough game for both teams to really look for that vision because face checking anywhere like this, like Cutie's doing right now, gets jumped on, Parallel Merchant is down, and you are dead. But down in the bot lane, Paranoia is going to be popped again, and you can't step anywhere. Nobody's safe. Nobody is safe in this game. And now we might have another fight potentially breaking out here as IQ running down to this bot lane. That's going to be the hook onto Ashcash, but this could be a potential big knockup. However, beautiful play there from Matt. This will be Daily Peach's ulti catching up with him, but up in that top lane, see a little exchange of blows from these two very tough, beefy boys here. Everybody disengages off of that one, and nobody dies, thankfully.
It's the battle of wits here. The Urgot doesn't have ulti though.
Oh, I don't think he needs it. I think he's fine. He takes out the, you know what? Good focus. He takes out the turret. He opens up this map, and now he's no longer a threat of going in for the fight against Crack. That Pressy Tack is definitely. Wait, is it? Yeah, it's Pressy Tack. Yeah. This dumb caster moment there for a second, but. Yeah, that's definitely the exchange you want. He's not looking for long extended fights. He wants to burst you down very fast. He's doing quite a good job of it on to Crack. However, Ashcash going on in. Oh my god, able to find the combo even through the jump, but I don't know about this one. Ashcash is gonna get that shield, able to stay alive for a little while longer. That was very close for Bodas, but luckily he has the ult, the flash, the heal, but everything is down for that Tristana now. Has to play very carefully.
Honestly, to be absolutely fair with you, I think there wouldn't have been any chance of a comeback there if Tristana didn't pick up the Gale Force for that situation. And all honesty, I think the Gale Force is a little bit greedy, especially that there's two really tanky boys in the front line that Tristana's going to have a hard time getting into, especially if she jumps into the back line. Say, for example, he jumps on the Kaisen in the back line there. The Alistar can just immediately turn over. Nocturnal looks like he's going to go in.
He's going in. He's trying to find Ashcash, trying to find Watch Editor, but he's just wiped off the map. Watch Editor will be next. Nice play there from Dark Lord Matt to make sure his ADC also survives, but we saw the attempt there, which was the Paranoia followed up by a Thresh Lantern, but not quite able to do that yet. However, Akuma are going to find that tier 2 bot turret, rotate their way on over to Dragon, and see if they can pick up a second Dragon of the game for themselves. However, their jungler is down at the moment, so they might say no to this as back from multiple members here.
I wonder if the Stride Breaker Nocturne, the Nocturne on, or the Stride Breaker on Nocturne is mathematically better than something like Duskblade there. Because I swear to you, if Nocturne had something like Duskblade or even Prowler's Claw there, he would have been able to absolutely pop the Alistar and the Kaisa before they even had a chance, just because how slow HP there was. But it just looked like he did absolutely zero damage, but
Ashcash going over the wall again. The flash from Repnon to get on out, but Daily Peach gonna be taking the Chrono Break Express back to safety. Again, great disengage from both sides. Fantastic for both of them to get out, but now it's up to the Dragon, and I don't think that IQ are gonna want to let this one go for free, but this gets shredded down so fast. That's kind of the benefit of having a Tristana on your team there, is that objectives disappear very, very quickly.
Apparently, if this is true 100% of the time, Infernal into Ocean is always Cloud, but Ocean into Infernal is always Mountain. If we're assuming this is correct, because it's Mountain Soul this time, and it was Infernal first last game, and it was Cloud Soul, and then this one it was Ocean Dragon first, and into Infernal, and now it's Mountain.
We're learning here, guys. We're making our own mental chart right now. I think that's kind of what's happened from all the games that we've casted this split. But right now, we have the Herald being taken by Akuma. No, by IQ. My apologies there. While Akuma, on the other hand, cracking open this mid lane. So this is going to mean a lot more control over in the hands of Akuma. There is still some vision that IQ is stuck by them, but that is definitely going to be harder to get those deep rewards down now that that mid tower is gone.
I do want to shout out, especially that we usually talk about Senna's and their soul counter, but because it isn't in the bot lane, we're absolutely focusing on her because a lot of the play has been onto, or a lot of the huge team fights were coming onto the bot lane or the top lane side with the ganks. There was a couple solo kills onto the side for the Vel'Koz here, but he is almost at his 60 soul mark, which is typically the point where Senna starts really, or getting to the point where she's basically scaled, and any more souls is just the cherry on top. It looks like he is. I'm interested in what he's actually going, because he has a Zeal and he also has a tier, but Manamune doesn't have a Zeal into the kit, so maybe he feels like the Manamune second isn't the optimal play. I presume that Zeal is going into a Phantom Dancer. Maybe it's more correct than going into the Gwyn's Rage Blade next, or maybe he could just be absolutely ignoring the Gwyn's Rage Blade. That could also work too. Or RFC. I apologize. That can also work as well. I just don't think he needs the RFC. Maybe that's fine, but I don't think he needs the RFC in my opinion, especially that most of the time he's going to be stepping backwards instead of forwards.
The back actually stopped for a second here. Crack is now turning the tables out onto Daily Peach. No, onto Repnon, because Daily Peach is shown up here. This is going to be really close. Chrono Break is forced to use shield there from Repnon, trying to get him out, but it's just way too much damage. However, yeah, you see those numbers on the other side of the map. You see Daily Peach down there. That's going to be, why not? Let's do Baron. Absolutely. It's going to get started up here. However, TP is coming through. Babs is on the other side of this. Wow, Akuma actually going to back on off of this one. They do not want to mess with the risk of a potential steal here. But Daily Peach are going to go ahead and crack open the mid lane turret for them. And Bodas, oh, this is maybe not the place Bodas wants to be. Goes on in, but is going to get picked off as well too. Ashcash deep into this fight, but Disintegration Ray ripping through from Beauty. Let's see if they're able to find some more, but look how tanky Crack is. Members of IQ going back in. They are taking out numbers here. Matt drops next. Bab's getting a little low as well too, but IQ starting to come back into these fights very, very strong. However, Paranoia, you got to be ready for that at any second of the game. They spot the Senna out on the ward, and yeah, Carrie's not going to say no to a free pickup there.
Just like the name implies, he should have been more paranoia, had a little bit more paranoia onto the side of the Nocturne there, because getting those free kills for free without any repercussion is, in my opinion, a little bit poor play. But it's all absolutely understandable, especially that I personally have in essence had those moments as an AD carry where I walk into a slight vision and he just instant ults on me, kills me, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Those moments, but necessarily I'm really excited, especially how close this game is getting. In my opinion, do you think it's favored right now, one way or the other, even if the gold lead is in the side of Akuma?
I think Akuma needs to start looking for an exit strategy very, very soon because, like we've said, Senna late game, once she gets those stacks, anything past 60 is that cherry on top, and it becomes very hard to deal with her. And you can see right now, it's not just that, but there's going to be issues in getting to that scaling late game. Yeah, you can see how much damage Urgot is doing right now to Daily Peach, but there's going to come a point where gold doesn't matter, leads don't matter, everyone's going to be at full build, and that's when it just comes down to how the team fights are executed. But IQ, again, they find an opportunity, they will go for it. This Baron is potentially a bait here, as Washhead are looking to go in on this one. They will find Bodas, and in comes Crack with the Big Scion ulti. Matt is going to go next, and what a beautiful pick by IQ. They're able to bait these members of Akuma to the Baron, find a couple, but what is it going to cost them? Take a look at the spot side right now, because Revnon is on the split push, looking to get this inhibitor, but that will be the cost of this Baron.
Baron pickup's going to be really huge, and I actually think if Revnon doesn't get anything more than the inhibitor here, it's actually, in my opinion, fine, especially that the side of IQ is more of the scaling comp. Feeding an extra 80 gold to either one of the carries of Kaisa, Senna, or Echo is going to be completely happy with that trade. Getting them to their items faster is always available, or always nice. And I do want to say you were correct, it was the RFC. I do find it's a little bit unnecessary, but maybe that he just feels like he needs the extra range.
Uh-oh, Paranoia is getting popped right now again too. You see the play come through, but Bodas is way too far away from his support. He's going to get picked off, and Matt is the next target, but they're going to save what they got back on out and move their focus somewhere else, because yeah, they do see that cracked open inhibitor. But honestly, for me, if I was IQ right now, I'd just say send the Senna bot, let her farm on those super minions, and get her even some more stats. Right now she's sitting at 69. Nice. That's great timing.
Nice.
But yeah, just actually cracking that 70 mark right now. But she is going to be doing a lot of damage. I don't know. I definitely, that rapid fire cannon is good for making those longer range engagements, right? That's a whole nother pick potential that IQ can look for with that glacial augment, is get an auto off. But a lot of these fights are in your face and personal, as we can see. Daily Peach is able to find Cutie out there, so I don't know if the rapid fire cannon was necessary, but it's definitely not a bad pickup here. Either way, IQ is back in this game, more strong than ever. It's only a 600 gold lead here at 25 minutes, and yeah, that to me just screams this one's going either way. But considering the fact that IQ have this Baron buff for another minute or so, they're going to look to get themselves some third gold here. But Paranoia coming down, Chrono Break immediately answered there, as Daily Peach will get out, but a bot turret will drop.
I say, like we were talking before, as Revnon's looks like he's gonna get picked here.
Oh boy. In goes Cracked, and in go the rest of IQ. They find the Scion, but it looks like they're going to try and fight back. Dark Lord Matt with a beautiful play there. The bog's coming down as well too, but not enough damage from the side of Akuma, as that will be Nocturne locked down, taken out. Big knockups coming from Ashcash, but Crack is in his zombie form now. He did die earlier. Watch the Editor actually be flashing in. He pulls the Wild Turtle, but is he able to do it? Gets knocked out. The true damage is damn true. It finds its mark. This is going to be risky now. They still have the Baron, but can IQ actually end here?
Potentially, I mean, if they get one more, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. But I do want to pivot back while this game is looking like it's going to be pushed on to the end. They look like they are backing off, though. Is the idea of
TP in the back. Let's see it. In comes Revnon, and the Urgot ult immediately. No. He's going to gobble up that Alistar. Oh my goodness, that is minced meat there, ground beef, whatever you want to call it. Unfortunate, but nice little sneak around play there. As, oh my goodness, Daily Peach is waiting on the side. You can't underestimate them. IQ's still very strong. You saw what they just did to your base. However, Paranoia comes through. Massive flash over the wall there from Babs. We'll keep him alive for now. Daily Peach looking to trade on in. Corner break to bring him back, and it explodes. This Nocturne, he's burning down. Disintegration Ray will finish him off, but the TP play in. IQ track is here. He comes in, stops this Vel'Koz for now, but he's locked on down. Lot of CC. Knocked on up as well, too. Vodas looking for that sending. He goes on back. Krax is taken out, and Babs is going to continue to run on away from this. Zombie Psyop? Nope, we can't find anybody right there, but... All right, let's catch our breaths for a moment there. That was a lot exchanged from both sides.
It was really back and forth, and I do want to say to you, and back to what we were talking about right before this game started, is how is this Nocturne really going to get in to this point? Because the side of IQ is scaling up to the point that's absolutely unimaginable. You can see even in the small trades where Kai'Sa and Tristana are trading back to each other 1v1, the Kai'Sa scaled so much where she's just absolutely out damaging the Tristana, even though she usually gets the first 2 odd attacks for free. And you can even see in the item difference where Kai'Sa is almost at her 4 or getting to her 4 item mark, and Tristana is still on her 2 major item or the 2 major items, and not even an IE is even built yet. I do want to say maybe the Stride Breaker wasn't even the tech here, especially that you want to kind of explode somebody in 9, especially that you don't have the availability to really. Maybe they're doing it to get the
This is the defensive Nocturne all we were talking about. Deny some vision as this dragon is picked up there by Akuma. However, Siren trying to get in. This is an absolute monstrosity of chaos right now, as Watch Editor is going to be able to take down Revnon, but I believe that is going to be the only exchange in this fight. However, Soul secured here by Akuma at 29 minutes. On the other side, though, yep, Baron has expired now for IQ. However, they're ahead in gold. And like you said, that difference between ADCs, 3.5 items for Kai'Sa, 2 items plus boots for Tristana. That is a very stark difference in what kind of damage we're seeing here. So that's why Tristana right now is down in the bot side. He's farming up, but this is going to be potentially risky as Ashcat goes in, finds the triple knock up there. Vel'Koz trying to feed things back, but Watch Editor goes on in, finds Cutie as well. And IQ turn this game back around on the heads of Akuma. They find Vodas there. Nocturne trying to find Daily Peach, but Ashcash is just the ultimate defender here, making sure no one gets past that brick wall and the rest of his team stays alive. IQ coming through with a beautiful series tonight, 2 over Akuma, and I think that's actually going to secure them first place going in the playoffs, as they're just looking to pad these last stats. Oh, corner break to get him out of the path. Daily Peach going a little ham here, but I wouldn't expect anything less from our best 2 teams here, as an absolute banger of a series they put on for us. And my God, IQ coming through with a clutch win tonight. GG's.
GG's.
Oh man, what a series to cast, Paige.
What a series, and unfortunately, say we couldn't even get a game 3 in this game. It would so entertaining to see a game 3 coming out onto the side of these 2 phenomenal teams. I do want to shout out for the Senna mid lane pick, and to kind of show the power of that, as she got 2 kills from that overextension onto Akuma. If Akuma didn't overextend there, maybe there could have been some differences where the Nocturne could have picked up a couple more kills. Maybe got strong enough where he could have gotten that double kill into the bot side dive where they were both super low and unfortunately couldn't find anything. It's just really difficult to find the areas between these 2 teams, but overall a phenomenal game coming from both sides. And I do want to put a little bit of shout out always to Mr. Daily Peach, as he always is fun to watch and performs every time we see him on stream.
Yeah, and I do got to give Akuma this. They played a hella good series too. Their early game was looking phenomenal. Like, we saw the Urgot up in the top lane just absolutely dominating that Cyan come like basically for the first 10 minutes. He was able to really shred him apart. But that's kind of what IQ was planning for, is, you know what, let's just hold on. We know Senna's going to be big this late game. Let's just wait. And, you know, we saw some nice paranoias coming out of some carry. A lot of damage from the Vel'Koz and the Tristana as well too. But again, we looked at both these teams. Yes, both of you have pick potential, absolutely. But who has the most answers to getting picked, to when the other team decides to pull that trigger and go in? And that was IQ. Ashkash's Alistar tonight was absolutely on point. He was finding beautiful combo engages. I mean, that last fight we saw under the tier 2 mid tower, he found the triple knockup, and that kind of sealed the deal. Yeah, yeah, legit. This guy's Alistar was on point tonight, so I definitely want to give the support of IQ a huge shout out for that, because that was really well done.
Definitely, it was a fantastic game for both sides. Akuma's, like you said, Akuma's early game, and I do want to point some of the fantastic early game plays that Akuma was able to do. Is like, for example, massive CS leads in the early on, up to almost 50 at some points on multiple lanes. And some really creative ganks coming in from Buddhist and Matt there, with this essence of using either the Lantern in this game or with the Nocturne Ultimate, or even in the last game where they were able to jump at like level 2 onto the mid laner to be able to pick him off and force his TP, so they were able to pick him off again. But nevertheless, super excited to cast this game. Thank you very much for letting me cast.
Hey, Paige, it was a pleasure having you on here. I'm glad we got to see these two guys duke it out on the stream, but I don't think it's going to be the last, because either way, whoever one of these two teams end up in 1 and 2, we're still going to get to see them in playoffs take on each other to decide what happens with the double. I believe it's double elimination that it lines up with.
Exciting.
Yes. So the way we've run it before in the past with smaller leagues is that 1 and 2 will play. The loser of 1 and 2 will play the winner of 3 and 4. So there's always a chance for them to come back, but there's a pretty guaranteed chance that we just see Akuma and IQ play once more in playoffs, which is honestly all these teams that we get to see here in LTS just bring their best to the table, and I love to see it. But yeah, great games from both these teams. Very close stuff, but in the end, it's IQ that's able to secure it. Really great teamwork and synergy across the board from them.
GG's.
But with that, guys, player of the game poll is currently on right now. We're going to hop to our break and come back with our final player of the game before we end off with a couple of announcements and finish the stream, guys. But thank you so much, and we will see you very shortly.
There's no easy way to say it, babe. It's gonna hurt you no matter what. I've been trying to find a way, spent a couple dozen days, but this is all I got. Yeah, so just let me go, let me go, let me go. It ain't working no more. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Baby, just stop holding on and take it from me. You will feel better, you will feel better. It's hard to believe. You will feel better, you will feel better, baby. There's no need for a fight. Just repeat after me when I tell you goodbye. Give it 3 weeks, you will feel better, better without me. Better without me. Please don't make this any harder, babe. Please don't make it harder than it already has to be. Wipe those tears out of your eye. We both need a different life, so don't beg me not to leave. No, just let me go, let me go, let me go. It ain't working no more. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Baby, just stop holding on and take it from me. You will feel better, you will feel better. It's hard to believe. You will feel better, you will feel better, baby. There's no need for a fight. Just repeat after me when I tell you goodbye. Give it 3 weeks, you will feel better, better without me. Better without me. Don't need a dog. doctor just cause you lost me. Don't need to open the wine. No medication, antidepressants. All you need is time. No communication, ringing me on FaceTime. Baby, I ain't picking up. And next time you see me, you'll be completely glad that we broke up. Take it from me, you'll feel better, you'll feel better. It's hard to believe, you'll feel better, baby. There's no need for a fight, just repeat it to me when I tell you goodbye. Give it 3 weeks, you'll feel better, better without me. Better without me.
I feel a little gray, my mind caught in a haze. Will these heavy storms ever pass? The cycle won't slow down. I'm stuck here on the ground, and all I want so high up above. It's easier to stay and mark myself in gray, mark myself in gray, gray. A never-ending maze, and I'm lost in the escape. Breathe deep in pain. Can't get off this train.
Hello, and welcome back to the closing of LTS Week 8. We got our final player of the game from IQ's 2-0 win, their final game. IQ Ashcash there on the Alistar going 0-4-13, just being an absolute playmaker for his team and setting up fantastically the rest of their team members for just wonderful picks, keeping them alive, doing really what a good Alistar does best, which is being the big meat shield that you want on your team, but being able to execute those combos every single time and be in the exact perfect place where you're needed is extremely wonderful. So congratulations to IQ on their win tonight and their sneaky little slide into first place there, but that's the way it goes here. We've got 1 week of LTS remaining until we get to playoffs, and speaking of, playoffs are here for a couple of our leagues. So while we are wrapping up LTS Week 8, I do have a couple of announcements in terms of what's going on this week for streams. So just a reminder that we have our regular Valorant streams this weekend at 3 p.m. EST. Saturday will be our LAS Valorant. Sunday will be our LRS Valorant. We are going to be shifting the podcast from Saturday to Sunday at 9 p.m. EST, and we will be covering playoff bracket predictions for our 2 upcoming leagues that have their playoffs starting next week, which is the LAS Draft and the LRS Premade. We'll be following up with some more predictions as we follow on our weeks, as these leagues kind of, because they are a bit staggered for some, seeing what these playoffs are going to look like. So make sure to keep tuned in for that. Keep an eye out for when those streams are, but we'll always announce them when we go live on our Discord. Anything else that I could possibly think of? Got some great games tonight. Had a bunch of fun casting. We've got lots more action coming up this week, and it is playoffs coming up. So do keep an eye out on the announcements for those. And reminder to players and viewers too that playoffs start at 7 p.m. EST. They start 1 hour earlier, and they are a best of 5 for the League of Legends game. So we got some good streams coming up, guys. I'm telling you, playoffs is the best. But that will do it from us here tonight at Legends Esports. Again, podcast shifted to Sunday, 9 p.m. EST. That is the one change to our stream schedule this week, with the exception of playoffs coming up. Anything else? No. Let's do a quick giveaway as I'm closing out the show. 250 Legends token raffle up on the board right about... Come on. Do the thing. Do the thing. It'll be up on the desk in a second. But you guys can go ahead and enter with the command raffle there. Make sure to get on that. And try and win some free points here. It doesn't seem... there it goes. There he goes. It's open now. I will pick a winner as we are closing out the stream. We're going through our end scene there. So make sure to enter on in for your chance to win 250 tokens. But there'll be some big giveaways this podcast because we did hit that 1,000 follower mark. So make sure to tune in this Sunday for a couple big token drops. We'll see you around. Have a wonderful night. Gurf signing out again. Love you all. Thank you for the games. Love casting you guys. Mwah. Take care, guys. And good night. Transition.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like them, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come with me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free. The night is young and I think this could go far. The sky is dark but you're my shooting star. Could see your face reflect upon the moon. It was a pretty summer night in June. And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me